gentlemen, please welcome IIS and PIC President, Josh Landau.
Good morning, and welcome to the 59th Annual Global Insurance Forum. I'm Josh Landau, the President of the International Insurance Society and the Pacific Insurance Conference. I'm excited to open up this conference for many reasons. First, this is a special collaboration between the International Insurance Society and the Pacific Insurance Conference, two leading organizations that have joined the institutes since we've last seen you in person. This collaboration enables us to leverage over 100 years of leadership and connectivity to the risk management and insurance industry, bringing people together to discuss and display the awesome influence that we have as an industry to impact change, both locally and around the world. Second, it's critical that we're here in person, and we're grateful for everything that our country host, Singapore, has done. When we were last here, believe it or not, in 2019, bringing people together for the first time in 4 years is a magical thing. We really did miss you. Our theme for this year's event is accelerating the value of insurance. The last 3 years have been marked by a global pandemic, supply chain disruption, geopolitical tensions and wars on multiple fronts, financial uncertainties, and record catastrophes. It's even more evident now than ever before that insurance is a fundamental pillar of the global economy, critical to the infrastructure of commerce and the livelihood of individuals and their families. Without insurance, world trade would grind to a halt. And at this historical inflection point, leading insurers are compelled to implement sustainable strategies to drive innovation, to reduce the protection gap, and strengthen societal resilience. The challenge is to harness the exponential growth of data with transformational technologies to deliver customer propositions that better serve society by accelerating the value of insurance. As an industry association leader, I have the unique privilege of interacting with the world's leading influencers in the insurance ecosystem, and this provides an amazing, insightful, and powerful perspective that we aim to leverage towards supporting the insurance industry's efforts to make individuals, communities, and economies more sustainable and resilient. Through the exchange of ideas, we provide a forum for collaboration and cooperation that enhances competition across all sectors and all markets. To tackle some of our biggest threats around the globe, our industry continues to have outsized influence on the direction and implementation of practical solutions while continuing to support and enable global commerce and provide critical protection and risk management. We are at the forefront of positive uses for AI and machine learning to obtain faster and better results, to assist the ability to predict and to prevent. Technology is allowing us to reach billions more people and provide them with the tools necessary to navigate in a modern world. Throughout the next 2 days, we will explore our impact on climate and sustainability, how we address 21st century risks, including cyber, and understanding how social inflation plays a role in how we move forward. We will also explore private equity's rapid growth in the insurance sector and how it's changing the landscape and how geopolitical tensions are influencing decision-making. We'll also dive deep into the engine of our industry, our people, examining employee engagement, leadership, and the future of leadership through the lens of the next generation of insurance leaders and innovators. This event is made possible with the support of the industry, and I want to sincerely thank all of the 2023 Global Insurance Forum partners, especially our lead partners, Kyobo Life and Swiss Re. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the 2023 Global Insurance Forum. And now, please welcome to the stage our chairman of the International Insurance Society, Andreas Berger.
So, thank you, Josh, and many thanks, and also special welcome to our honored guests. It's my great pleasure to be here today in person after all those years, and I think it's great to mingle again and to see so many familiar faces here. We in the insurance sector, we're used to talking about risks, but today we live in a time when risk is dominating conversations well beyond our industry. Crisis management and constructing responses to worst-case scenarios has become a full-time job for leaders of every kind of organizations. The word polycrisis has entered our lexicon, describing an array of perilous megatrends that are interacting with each other in hard-to-predict ways. Climate change is one such megatrend. At Swiss Re, we first identified the threat posed by climate change in 1979. That's a long time. We've been working to analyze it even since, natural disasters have become more intense and more frequent in recent years, even as many more people are concentrated in high-risk locations. Economic losses from natural catastrophes in the first half of this year totaled $120 billion worldwide, 46% higher than the average over the past 10 years. What's more, a significant protection gap exists and persists. Of course, economic losses from natural disasters last year, which amounted to some $275 billion, less than half were covered by the insurance industry. This protection gap, or coverage gap as we call it, is particularly severe here in Asia, with more work needed to model natural catastrophes in order to close it. If the Paris climate targets are missed, we expect climate change to result in an up to 18% loss to GDP, worldwide GDP, and in particular with uncertain geopolitical consequences. And we see it every day. The challenges posed by climate risk have been accelerated by geopolitical risk factors. We've seen how large disasters can impact lives and livelihoods, or even threaten critical resources. Such events can exacerbate tensions and plant the seeds for future conflicts. Conflicts that involve major economies, such as Russia's, have undermined faith in the foundations and the logic of globalization. This has created another megatrend, as supply chains have realigned to avoid geopolitical disruptions to trade in the future. These kind of friend-shored supply chains, turbocharged by increasingly restrictive trade policies between geopolitical adversaries, are grounded less in pure economic efficiency than in attempts to embed long-term resilience, and thus represent a profound shift in the nature of commerce. Businesses must also be prepared for climate-driven supply chain disruptions, given the havoc catastrophes can wreak on physical operations and infrastructure. At the same time, the global economy is becoming more and more digital. And the digital realm is less subject to national boundaries. This creates a vast majority of opportunities, yes, but also challenges. Many corporations now view cyber attacks as the main risk to their businesses. The NotPetya cyber attack in Ukraine in 2017 caused billions of dollars worth of damage globally, according to the US government. Even companies that go to great lengths to safeguard their own systems cannot control their wider environment, or risks that are embedded in various layers of their supply chains. Research from IBM shows that 82% of data breaches involve data stored in the cloud. That's a reality for all of us. Cyber risks are increasingly expressed in terms of insurance premiums these days. And the Swiss Re Institute, we expect global cyber premiums to reach $15 billion this year and $25 billion by the end of 2026. The greatest insurance losses trend to be felt in heavily regulated industries where cyber tech risks live. Data breaches in the healthcare sectors are the most expensive ones, with our research showing the cost of such incidents averaging almost 11 million so far this year in 2023. Harnessing the potential of digitalization, that's another big topic. And yet, in highlighting these threats, we should not lose sight of the ways in which the digital revolution is helping us mitigate risk and cushion the world from disaster. Digitalization is allowing us to monitor and interpret the risk landscape as it becomes even more complex. The Internet of Things enables us to supervise physical systems in a perpetual and tactical way, improving maintenance efficiency. In harnessing our combined knowledge on risk, expressing this as organized data, and using the most advanced analytics to make sense of it all, not only to the benefit of our business, but to serve the needs of customers and partners, is our best chance of working efficiently to mitigate damage from a wide range of negative scenarios for economies and societies. To put simply, data allows us in the insurance sector to make decisions with more confidence. We at Swiss Re spent a lot of time on this, and Swiss Re Institute estimated that the digitalization of claims handling could reduce loss adjustment expenses by up to 25%, and general expenses by as much as 20%. Just think about the lack of productivity gains in our industry. That's huge. Data also allows us to treat our customers more fairly and to build trust. Here in Singapore last year, we helped the Monetary Authority refine its fairness assessment methodology to ensure that gender and ethnicity were handled ethically in predictive digital underwriting for life insurance. Enhancing risk prevention and mitigation with data for corporates, that's the topic. And not only for corporates, also for the personal lines industry. Let me go back to where I started on climate risks. Data and analytics can shield us from natural disasters. Our research shows that the countries that are most digitized, for instance, Sweden, are also more resilient when it comes to natural catastrophe exposures. Now, what's the role of our industry in all of this? Insurers and also reinsurers, and actually the whole ecosystem, must acknowledge and address their climate risks in order to make sound strategic decisions and better prepare for the potential consequences of accelerating climate-related perils. As threats fueled by climate change intensity, decision makers today must develop a far broader vision of risk than they had even just a few short decades ago, to avoid concentrating valuable assets in the rising number of areas vulnerable to natural catastrophes. Equipped with the right data and insights, they can manage these risks appropriately without unwarranted exposure to hazards whose potential costs are growing at a rate not seen in decades. Unlocking the potential of data and analytics for better risk management, this is basically the key theme. Innovative, data-driven tools provide a better path forward. For example, think in platforms, risk and data and services platforms that enable clients to upload digital twins of an asset and then simulate a diverse set of risk scenarios with granular precision, pinpointing any vulnerabilities and developing a better understanding of how events might impact their work or even supply chains, as an example. By offering customers the digital tools to better understand the risks that they face, we move beyond the notion of insurance to what I like to think as resilience as a service. Resilience as a service. Tools like this allow our industry to step up their promises. No longer will we simply support our clients with capital to react to disasters after they occur. We can help them better prepare and even avoid the impact of those risks. Now, the key ingredient here is collaboration. That is key. Today, that's the watchword, collaboration. We must work with clients, brokers, the whole ecosystem, to give them the data and the capabilities that clients need to identify their risks before they materialize, so they can mitigate them before a catastrophic event takes place. We have to collaborate closely with technology partners to make our data analysis and management solutions even more sophisticated. And all of this with an aim to providing clients data-rich snapshots of not just the current threats to their people, to their operations and their infrastructure, but even those that lurk over the horizon. By working together and by harnessing the latest technology, digital technology, we can address risks proactively, helping to shield the world from the challenges that all of us face now and even 25 years from now. And it's on that note of optimism that I would like to conclude, because despite the culmination of crises we face, I foresee a very bright future for our industry, one in which our shared knowledge is our best shield against the uncertainties that will come. And our capacity for applying and extending that knowledge grows more powerful each and every year. Now, I wish you all a very good conference. On that note of optimism, let's work together, let's collaborate, and tackle the challenges. Many thanks, and I'll hand over to John. Thank you. John Spence.